that zone gave you guys a little bit of trouble. So the zone gave you a little bit of trouble in the second half. Can you kind of talk about what you saw out there?
Oh, yeah, it was different. Actually, yesterday was the first time we actually worked on playing against a 3-2 zone that way. So it was a little different for us, just a little tougher for us to get comfortable with it. But I think as the season goes on, we'll probably work on it a little more now that we actually seen one. And be a little, next time we see it, we'll probably be a little better against one.
It was a little frustrating with not being able to get the touches that you got in the first half.
It wasn't necessarily frustrating because I understood that I was uncomfortable. The guards were a little uncomfortable with it. It was just trying to make sure we kept it going. Trying to just keep playing hard so we can keep the lead.
When they started the second half on that run, sort of shrunk your lead, what was the mindset? What was the mindset on the court there when they cut that lead to 4 or 5 points?
Oh, just pick up the intensity on defense. Not really worried about what we were doing on offense, other than trying to limit the turnovers that we had got that led to those points. But just getting back focused, talking in transition and finding the shooters because that's how they cut into the lead, in transition and to hit a couple shots.
Was it frustrating the first half when it seemed most of the 3-pointers were falling?
No, because we watch film, and even on film they hit a lot of tough shots. So our focus, our plan was try not to even let them get them off because we knew they could make tough, which we saw. So it wasn't necessarily frustrating. It was just we had to pick it up.
Sean, when you were in as the end of that run happened. You guys got a steal and then forced the timeout on the pressure. Was that you and Justin came in, provided a spark? Was that kind of the goal to up the intensity when you guys came on the floor?
Yeah, especially like when Justin is in. I mean, he's the hype man. He gets everyone like really going. So I mean, especially and then when when the guard was dribbling down, I see him just chasing the guy down. He actually back tipped it. So it really helps with his energy in there because he's a lot more hyper than everyone else is.
You did the same. You ran all the way down the floor though, dive, make the play. I mean, those 2 plays right there really ramped things up. Was that kind of your focus too?
Yeah, I mean, especially because with the dive on the floor, I mean, it hurt like crazy. But I see that it was a defensive play, and that's all I was looking for.
Yancy, when you see Sean dive on the floor like that, does it kind of pick up your intensity?
Yeah, the crowd, even get to the crowd attention, the crowd stood up, started clapping. Those are the type of plays that, get the whole team into the game. When you see one guy hustling, that kind of riles everybody up, and, everybody else, start hustling, start playing hard.
Sean, this is the second game in 2 games that you guys got a big lead in the first half and had to hang on in the second. Part of the reason today was because of the zone, but does that bother you that happened 2 games in a row?
No, I mean, this is if you really look at it, this is our second regular season game. I mean, it's still a lot of basketball to be played, and not only that, we're still learning actually. So we should be fine going deep down into the season.
How much was the tempo? You guys really couldn't get up and down very much. How much did that kind of affect maybe the sluggish offense you take in the second half?
Oh, I think that played a part because we kind of wanted to play fast, but they was hitting some shots. The team hitting shots hard to get it, kind of push it up the floor. And they did a real good job of executing their, they was pressing, but it really wasn't to turn us over. It was to more like slow us down. They didn't send us too many traps or anything. And really, you just got to give them credit, for following through with whatever the coach said at halftime. They came out and did a good job of it.
Did you start to get any sort of deja vu, or is this another second half like this again? Did you think about that at all?
Not really, because we got a lot of good looks in the zone. A couple of the shots didn't go down. So when you see, you kind of get frustrated that open shots, you normally make don't drop, but you don't start to panic or anything because you can hit those shots. And I think as Kane Cash hit a couple of those shots, that didn't fall early in the second half for us. So we was just really focused on trying to keep our focus, which we lacked in the second half of the last game.
Talk about missing shots. How big of a relief was it hit that 3? That was a big bucket in the course of this game, the one that you hit in the corner shot.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot who kicked it out to me. It was probably Yancy most likely, but when he threw it out, I mean, I felt it going in as soon as he threw it back out because the look on his face is like, you better hit this shot. Like, we need this shot. So yeah, it's a good relief.
Yeah, and it's almost, you almost kind of want to throw your hands up, like finally one goes in, because you guys had open looks like that all second half.
Yeah, especially like he said, like with me and Cash hitting shots in the second half, it was pretty good.
What have you two guys learned about this team? I know it's only 2 games, but does it give you any feel for what kind of team you're going to have? You got another game Monday, and I'm just wondering where you think you are right now.
I mean, we still got a long way to go, but I think as long as we're focused on the important things, just worrying about playing B and executing a game plan, I think we'll be fine. Just like we said before, we're not really worried about who's going to score the ball, because everybody's going to score the ball. And I think tonight was a good example of that, because no one player on offense really scored more than the next guy. We were all kind of on the same thing. So just working on staying focused at all times. I think that'll be a big thing for us down the stretch.
I think other teams are going to look at this and say, well, if we just put 3 guys around Yancy and play zone, we'll be all right.
Well, hopefully, if they do, let them go ahead, because I watch these guys make shots like that all day in practice. So if they want to do that, they can do it.
Coach mentioned that. What's the difference between the practice and the game? In the game, it seems like you guys have been struggling from the outside, but as you just said, in practice, you guys are making. Can you point to what the difference might be, Sean?
Probably adrenaline. I mean, we're so hyped to hit the shot, but then in practice we all also hyped, but it's like not a lot of chaos and everything. So, I mean, if we just ride the horse, then we should be fine.
It's hard to ride the horse if you can't get the ball over there. You didn't get the ball, I should say.
Yeah, it's kind of tough.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, fellas.
Thanks, guys.